And we're back with the latest installment of the OOTP 21 Perfect Team Series that I have been doing since spring of 2020, featuring the Universal Pioneers. 19,889 points in the old bank, and it's Silver League 268 is what I am in, and this is January 17, 2021. The weekend, the Buccaneers are playing a playoff game against the Saints in NFL action, and the Tampa Bay Rays announced that they will let fans in next season. This season coming up, the 2021 season that starts in a little over a couple of months. Because of COVID, they weren't letting fans in, but they're going to let 7,000 fans a game in, at least for starters, for the 2021 season. That was local news in terms of baseball. Universal Pioneers went 76 and 86 this year, which takes a week. And they did not make the playoffs, so we still wound up with 19,889 points. You might be wondering, how did we get that many points with such a terrible season? Well, let's see. Probably from the selling of a few players. Early in the week, we had a milestone win for 3,000 points on Thursday. Balanced Offense Award on Tuesday the 12th. And yeah, we got Max Scherzer off for 4,000 points and Luke Voigt for 1,000. And that's pretty much been it. So we'll look at our team and see how they did statistically. Yeah, we were pretty bad. 10th in runs scored, 11th in runs against. We had a pretty good lineup. So, as the Smothers Brothers once said, we're kind of a yo-yo team. And we're in that state of yo, where one week we're doing good, the next week we're doing bad. And that's kind of what Perfect Team has been this year. Willie Mays hit 30 homers for our guys. Carly Yastrzemski was 24 homers and only hit 256. So when your cleanup guy is not hitting, a lot of these guys weren't producing. Cano had a good year, 288, 1675. Steve Carlton was our best pitcher at 373 and going 11 and 9. But Cole, Scherzer, and Dirk are all stank up the joint. Randy Johnson was not good at 490. But we're at the point where I can't really improve the team all that much. With 19,000 points, I could get a good diamond player, but I mean, I'd be replacing a diamond player too. So what we're going to do is we're going to get one diamond packed, and we're going to get three gold packs and see if that will improve the team a little bit. So we'll get about 7,000 points back. Get more. Yes, I want to get more. We'll get three. And off we go. So it's a diamond. We'll be guaranteed getting 4,000 points for selling off a diamond and 1,000 points for selling off a gold. So it'll be a good return of investment here, almost 40%. So we'll look at our diamond pack first. Open that up. And then we'll do our little selling spree. This has got to be the diamond because it's the last one. We got a Roydus Chapman. Actually, he might help the team a little bit. I don't think we have him. And we'll open our next packs. Here's the first of the three gold packs. Silver. Another iron. Here's the gold. Max Fried. Is it Fried or Fried? I don't know. Here's our gold for this pack. Marcus Semien of the A's. And Tim Heracala of the Rockies will be our Iron Historical. Well, and Josh Donaldson. Okay. So we're all set. And now we got players to sell. Let's see where this puts everybody. Saw some movement. So we'll get to that when we get to that. So now I will first look and see. Well, it doesn't really matter at this point if there are any inactives. Let's just sell our players. We'll have 24 players to sell if my math is correct this early in the morning. Okay. No, I don't want to sell him instantaneously. I want to put him up for the auction. Always do your auctions. And I always like to set the timer for 24 hours and sell him at 10% of the max value, 40. And we'll keep Fried because would be our starting pitcher. 39 for John Duplantier, I guess that is. 39 minus 3.9 would be 35, so he will go up. Julio Tehran, probably not from Iran. He is a 10. We'll go at 9 with him. And he'll be automatically be sold in 24 hours. So yeah, baseball season's not that far away. We're getting into the football playoffs now, so it's not that far off. And I think, let's see, he's going at 10, so we'll put him up at 9. He was a gold and has now become a silver. And right before the baseball season starts, of course, OOTP 22 will come out. Although listening to the OOTP Now podcast as of late, they haven't mentioned that when that's going to be released. Oh, you can put Dylan Betances up. Well, we put him up at 200 because 299 minus 30 would be 269. But I will set a 269. No, we'll go 300. We'll go 400 on a capper on this. See if anybody will bite on that. AJ Cole and OOTP 22. As I've been saying the last few weeks, I don't know if I'm going to do 10, and I'll put them up at 20. I don't know if I'm going to do Perfect Team again next year. I just might do a campaign like I do with the FHM series. But FHM doesn't have a Perfect Team or something like that. You know. And I just did part 2, by the way, if you're interested in the franchise hockey manager series that I do. I just did the second part of the 92-93 Tampa Bay Lightning. Well, I shouldn't set a cap at 9. I'm thinking about doing one of the things I always loved to do with the OOTP when it would come out every year is I would do the just to give it a good test and just to test my skills a little bit. Tim Harikala is going at 40, which is way high for an iron. So we're going to set it up. I'm going to set it up so if anybody wants them at 80, you can have them. One of the things I usually like to do with OOTP every year it came out in recent years is do the 62 Mets. Start with the 62 Mets and see if I can get them in the World Series by the end of the 69 season. It's one of the things I always privately like to do. By the way, I've never been able to attain that. The 62 Mets were pretty bad. One of the worst baseball teams of all time. But they were an expansion team, and of course, 7 years later, they wound up being in the World Series. But that's something for the history books. And I always like to take them, and the problem you have with the 62 Mets is you could get Pete Rose. You could get Pete Rose in the first draft. Although in real life, baseball did not have a draft until 1965. So he's going for 9. I'll put him up at 8. And I would always go for Pete Rose, and Pete Rose would always reject playing with the Mets. So I would always be screwed from the get go, and I would wind up getting fired by 64 or 65 or something like that. And it's very, very tough to. Okay, we're gonna keep Chapman. So Ted Lyons will go up, and he'll go up at 4160, and I'm gonna cap him at 7,000. See if anybody bites. Oh, I screwed up. I screwed up. Hang on, folks. I'm going to take him off the auction block because I should be selling him at a minimum of 44.44. Please select your filters. I screwed up. So I'm going to get Ted Lyons back here. And he's got to go for 4444. Get more, 44. And since he's going at $6,500, we'll go a little higher than that. 65.58, 655 would be about 7,200. We'll just do a rough estimate. There. Now that that's fixed, we got a whole bunch of catchers to look through. We're gonna keep Astudillo, and we're gonna get rid of the rest because I like to keep 10 in reserve. You always keep 10 in reserve. I don't like playing the tournaments on Perfect Team. I thought I would say that again because I probably said it about 10 times. If I was not doing a YouTube series on Perfect Team, I'd probably want to do it, but it just takes up too much more time. Josh Fegley, 44, 39 would be my minimum bid for him. And you kind of wonder what baseball is going to look like in 2021 because the Padres made a whole bunch of moves. They picked up Blake Snell, and after how his season ended here in Tampa, I'm not surprised Snell went to another club. Remembering that Kevin Cash gave him the quick hook in the World Series in Game 6. And Kevin Cash always had a history of pulling Blake Snell early from games, even when he was a younger pitcher. Yeah, I could see how that came to a head. So good luck, San Diego. Hope you have good fortune with Blake Snell. So the Padres will become a good team, I think, with Snell, and they've made a few more pickups in the offseason. But no one knows for sure how the season's going to look like. They are going to try to play the 162 game season. Okay, so I got Donaldson and Mel Ott to choose from in third base. I'll put Donaldson up. It's hard for me to envision Mel Ott as a third baseman because I heard everything I read in history books, baseball history books, and when I was a kid, I used to love to get the baseball encyclopedia because baseball is one of those games where you need an encyclopedia because you play 162 games a year. And they've been playing baseball, up to the point where I was a kid back around 1990, 100 years. So you need an encyclopedia back then before everything went to the internet. You need you need something big like an encyclopedia. Marcus Simeon. Well, it was nice knowing you, Marcus, but you wouldn't make my team anyway. So 11, 12, we'll put him up for. And as I've probably said in some previous episodes, don't think by putting your players up for auction, you're going to get them for the medium price because I had Lamar Hoyt on my team, and I think I put him up for 2,000 perfect points, and he wound up going way higher. So it does happen. It doesn't happen all the time. But, because there's collection missions in OOTP, and I hope that continues, be another one of those things that I would do if I had more time. Brett Ebener will go for 6. No, not 3. 3, what would be the point in putting him up for 3? Of course, minor league baseball is changing. That's a shame because of COVID and because baseball does not want to keep a whole bunch of minor league teams. To me, minor league baseball is the backbone of the sport. And I grew up before we had the Rays, first the Devil Rays and then the Rays. We had minor league baseball in this area. We had the Florida State League, which is, by the way, still around. 100 pence. You can get for a few pence, six. And it's a shame that they are reorganizing the minors because I think, like I said, the minor leaguers are the backbone of baseball. And I think by getting rid of that, you miss the substance of what baseball is. So everybody has been sold off, and we will come back next week with the latest installment of the OOTP Perfect Team series as we know it. Let me just be sure I have the right part here. This is indeed part number 83. I could do this offline, but I'll just walk you through it. And let's see here. Yeah, last part was part 82, so I'm good. This has been Big Paulie coming to you these last 16 minutes or so. We wish you well, no matter where you are and no matter when you see this. Godspeed, God bless, and go Buccaneers. We'll catch you next time. Bye bye for now, everybody.